Thank you everyone for joining us today. We have quite a few people who RSVP'd, and we're really excited to that you would spend your morning or afternoon with us, depending on where you are. My name is Bryan Husk. I'm the Administrative Associate Director with the MS in Biotechnology program. We have been servicing the regional Wisconsin biotechnology industry for many years in helping develop the workforce and the leadership potential in this area to help essentially partner with biotech companies within the region to grow and succeed in their efforts to deliver new technologies and products to market. I oversee most of the admissions process and oftentimes do recruitment and first contact with prospective students. So if we haven't already met, hopefully we'll have a chance to do so following this if you have questions. But with that said, I'd like to introduce our Associate Director and Academic Director and faculty member, my colleague Natalie Betz, to lead this presentation today.
Thank you, Bryan. And again, thank you everyone for attending this webinar. I'll spend the next maybe 25 minutes kind of overviewing the program, and then there should be plenty of time at the end for any questions that you have. As Bryan mentioned, this program began over 20 years ago, and really the mission of the program is to provide an integrated curriculum in the science, policy, law, and business of biotechnology that really prepares our students to lead the development and commercialization of new and promising technologies. And so from the beginning, we wanted to make sure that our students had this very breadth of knowledge so that they could be very effective in being involved in those teams that are basically leading the product development. And we were really hoping to deliver the potential of biotechnology to our students. One of our faculty in the program, Mary Westrick, who had worked at LabCorp, Quintiles, and Covance over the years, was in class one day and said, diverse cross-functional teams get a product to market faster and beat the competition. And that's really true. And that we want to prepare you to be on those cross-functional teams so that they could be as effective as they can be. And part of that knowledge to be effective in those teams is acquiring a number of different professional skills or honing those professional skills. And that would include things like cross-functional leadership, obviously the technological expertise that you need to work in a highly technical field like biotechnology, expertise with product development and commercialization, and then also kind of at a higher level, corporate strategy. A little bit of background about the program. We were launched in 2002. And at the time, and actually still currently, it was kind of the first and only curriculum of its kind. Because of its interdisciplinary nature, where it's combining the technical aspects of biotechnology, but also the business, legal, regulatory, ethical aspects as well, made it very unique. And it's still true today. It was designed based on the needs of the biotechnology industry, and it's also based on industry best practices. So what are current companies in the area doing that makes them highly effective? We currently have over 500 alumni and current students. And so we kind of encourage you, if this is an educational opportunity that interests you, to join our professional network, what we call the Biotech Badgers. There's a number of different distinguishing features of the program. I've alluded to some of them already. One is the cross-disciplinary nature of both the curriculum and the students that we recruit to build the cohorts for each fall. So all of the students are working professionals, but they come from diverse backgrounds. And that diversity is in their kind of previous educational backgrounds, but also in their current work backgrounds as well. We draw on students globally. So while most are in the region, Dane County, and kind of the Milwaukee, maybe Twin Cities, Chicago areas, we do have students that come internationally. And we think that's a really valuable addition to the cohorts because they provide that international perspective. And it's interdisciplinary in the sense of the curriculum. As I mentioned, it's dives deeply into the science that basically supports biotechnology, but also the business aspects, the legal aspects, the policy, and the ethics that are involved. The program is really a model of industrial and academic collaboration. We have select UW faculty members who are generally faculty members in the School of Business. Then we also recruit a number of different regional biotechnology leaders to serve as adjunct professors in a variety of the courses in the program. And then we supplement the UW faculty and our industry adjunct professors with a variety of well-renowned guest speakers on a variety of topics. The way that the program is set up, you can work full-time and achieve your master's degree. So the schedule is such that it's an alternate week schedule. Courses are held Thursday evening from 6 to 9 p.m., all day Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and then Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to noon. And that, what we call a session, occurs every other week. So throughout the semester, there are a total of 7 sessions with this Thursday through Saturday schedule. This allows our students to work full-time while they're enrolled in the master's program. All of the services that you need to complete this degree are based at the program level. So anything that has to do with interacting with UW-Madison can come through the program, and we can facilitate any type of interactions. If you've never been a student at UW-Madison, it is a large institution, and having a little help managing and navigating all the different departments, et cetera, can be very helpful. And we like to basically allow our students who are working full time to focus on their education and not have to worry about any administrative things that need to be done. The courses are located off campus, so we're not actually on the UW-Madison campus. Our lecture-based courses are in University Research Park. And then the laboratory courses are done in collaboration with the BTC Institute, which is on the Promega campus in Fitchburg. Part of the reason for that is that we like to be located in industrial settings because the program is very applied, and also parking on campus can be a pain. So having availability to free and plentiful parking at both sites can be very advantageous. There are many rewards for your effort for completing the program, and many of the things that you learn, you don't say on a Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, you might apply at work on that next Monday. One advantage, you get your master's degree in less than 2 years. So it's a 4-semester program with an intervening summer off, and that occurs over 3 calendar years, but it can be completed within that 4 semesters. You'll gain significant cross-functional knowledge of the biotechnology industry. And again, that's not just technical knowledge, but also business acumen and familiarity with the regulatory paths that are involved with many biotechnology products. You'll gain the ability to communicate to diverse audiences. And this can be a real key in your career development. Being able to explain scientific content to a non-scientific audience, or business content to a scientific audience, can be very, very powerful. It'll allow you to develop a wide range of professional relationships and networks. And so you'll have all of the current students, all the alumni, all of the faculty and our guest speakers that you can then add into your network. And we like to call that our Biotech Badger Network. It can have significant career impact during and after your degree completion. And part of this is because those insights that you're gaining each class period, each semester, that you can then immediately turn around and go to work and apply. The skills that we highlight in the program are not necessarily specific to biotechnology, and you could apply those to a number of different industries. So things like effective communication, critical thinking, being able to manage projects and people, all could be applied to a wide variety of industries. And because of our history in Dane County and at UW, we've really become a degree differentiator with employers. All of the biotechnology companies in the region are very familiar with the Emerson Biotechnology program. We have many alumni, current students, and even faculty at many of these companies. And so it has a very strong reputation and can definitely impact your career. So now I'd just like to walk through the curriculum. And so again, it's a 4-semester program. Each semester often has a theme that's associated with biotechnology product development. And I would say the courses are broken up into basically kind of a business curriculum, those that are associated with regulatory policy or the law, a scientific curriculum, and then those that are related more to leadership and management. In the first fall of the program, the focus for this particular semester is basically technology assessment. So we have a very early technology. What kind of assessment would we need to do to make a recommendation of whether that technology should be further on in development? The first business course, Business Fundamentals, as it sounds, covers the fundamentals of business. And so our two instructors from industry, Ben Suffrood and Hemant Shenoy, offer their insights and with all their business acumen to kind of get you on the groundwork of all those basics. You'll have your first course in intellectual property, patents, and licensing. And this is team taught by individuals from the Wisconsin Alumni Research Foundation, and the patent manager at Promega. In addition, you have a course on biotechnology regulation and ethics. So while the intellectual property course focuses on patenting, licensing, freedom to operate, patentability, the regulation and ethics course focuses on those regulations that are then in the law that then we have to follow in biotechnology product development. And finally, the scientific course in the first semester, Molecular Technologies 1, covers the basic science behind biotechnology, but with an emphasis on diagnostic testing. Throughout the program, because this is a graduate level applied degree, there are no tests. All of the assignments are project-based. It could be an individual written assignment, a team assignment, could be a presentation, could be some kind of data analysis, but there are definitely no tests. It's very project related, and which should be very applied, something you would see similar in what you do at work. In the spring semester of the first year, this particular theme is focused around product development. So in the first semester, we've decided, yes, this technology should move forward. Well, now do we actually manufacture it and get it approved by the FDA? So one of the hallmarks of the program, and many that students say they go back to in later years because it has such a strong focus on regulation, is the biotechnology operations course. This course is also team taught by some industry leaders, and, excuse me, and covers things like quality systems, biomanufacturing, preclinical and clinical trials. The second laboratory course in the spring semester, Molecular Technologies 2, really collaborates with the biotechnology operations course. So we get hands-on experience doing various aspects of biomanufacturing, along with some forays into agricultural biotechnology, automation, and some other special topics as well. And then the final course in this particular semester is project management and leadership. So this gives you the tools you need to both act as a leader, but also how to manage projects. And we have many students that actually end up in this area in their career. That's the first year of the program. You have the intervening summer off. And then in the fall of the second year of the program, now the theme is going to move into commercialization and product delivery. So we've assessed the technology. Yes, should we go forward? Then in the spring, we learned how to manufacture it and get it approved by the FDA. Now do we actually get it out into the market? And so the second business course focuses on those commercialization pathways. This course is also team taught by 3 industry professionals. And it really covers things like, how do you do market analysis? How do you think about how you might fund this project? How do you complete a business model canvas that has all the different pieces you need in order to commercialize a technology? The scientific course in that second fall semester focuses on early drug discovery. So this is all the different steps, which there are many, as you can imagine, that go from identifying the target or the disease you want to treat all the way through target validation, high content screening, toxicology testing, kind of up to preclinical testing. And the third laboratory course, Molecular Technologies 3, coordinates with the early drug discovery course. So we do assays that are involved in the early drug discovery process. And finally, in the final spring semester of the program, the focus is really on career growth and strategic planning. So at a higher level, how do companies make these decisions that they need to in order to remain sustainable? And then how do you monitor your career to make it sustainable as well? The third business course actually is called corporate strategy. is, again, how those higher level decisions that corporate leaders make in order to not just manage, let's say, one product, but a portfolio of products. So in this particular business course, you learn a number of different tools that you can use to both analyze your company internally, but also the external market, and how kind of favorable is that particular market for entry. The fourth scientific course in the program, called Advanced Biotechnology Global Perspectives, highlights a number of different kind of current topics in biotechnology, with hopefully a global perspective to that. We've covered a variety of topics in the past, things like stem cells, which UW-Madison is definitely a leader in. We've done microbiome analysis and metagenomics. We've done bioenergy. We usually do a session on agricultural biotechnology. And in addition, we often cover a topic that has to do with funding and how you would actually get reimbursement for, let's say, medically related therapeutics or diagnostic tests. And then finally, this semester rounds out with the course All About You. So it's about professional development and effective management. And so we've had an HR professional lead this course for several years now. And it really focuses on you and your networking skills, developing your resume, interviewing skills, but then also what kind of soft skills do you need to really become an effective manager and not just develop your own career, but facilitate the development of your employees as well. The entire program wraps itself up in a final thesis project, which we call the capstone research project. And this is an opportunity for you as a student to identify a topic that you're really interested in, what problem is associated with that particular topic, identify a novel biotechnology solution that could address that particular problem, and then really do a deep technical analysis on this problem solution marriage, but also a deep business analysis on what kind of company might develop it and why that's a good fit. And so the idea is that it allows you to take everything you've learned on the entire program and apply it to a topic of your choice that you're hopefully passionate about. So that rounds out the curriculum. And again, it's all the assessments are project-based. Each semester will often end with a large team assignment, such as the technology assessment, product development, or commercialization plan, that really allows you to use not just that course's information, but whatever else you've learned throughout the semester as well. And if there's any questions, please put them in chat and I'm happy to answer them. All right. So how do you translate all of this education into success? And the program really does focus on a number of different key themes. Communication is primarily one of the key themes that we focus on. I consider this educational opportunity really an opportunity to practice a lot of these different skills, and not only learn from the faculty, but also from your peers. We're all professionals. And so I know personally as an instructor, I learn as much from the students as I think they learn from me. We also focus a lot, as you can imagine, on critical thinking, leadership abilities, really giving you the opportunity to enhance those soft skills, because often we hear from companies and from managers, it's that having those soft skills and the ability to communicate effectively in a variety of situations with a variety of people is really what can propel your career. We also focus on problem solving. You'll gain that market knowledge, so the business side of biotech, but also the science side as well. You'll learn again about technology transfer, intellectual property, and then a lot of these skills that you gain, if you have the entrepreneurial bug, then by all means, go ahead and start your own company. We're often asked, what type of positions do our alumni hold? And it's as varied as our alumni, there's the students that are coming into the program. I would say many that are listed here are common paths that our current students and alumni take. So product managers or product leaders, we have lots of students who end up in manufacturing, some kind of operations role. Project or program managers is very common. Students who end up deciding that they love quality assurance and regulatory affairs, so they go down the regulatory path. We have had some students who have been so interested in the kind of legal aspects that they become patent attorneys or patent agents. Many students are study directors for contract research organizations, students that work in research and development, business development. We have some chief operating officers, some that have gone more down the pharmacy path, some who are in budget analysis or more like the business development, and then those that are involved in clinical healthcare, often in managing clinical trials. So really a wide variety, and the variety is because of the students that come in are quite varied as well. The program requirements, we prefer a minimum of 1 to 2 years relevant work experience, a minimum of 2 semesters of either biology or life science related coursework, preferably with a lab component, a bachelor's degree or equivalent with a minimum GPA of 3.0. However, our admissions really, our eligibility is based on a composite of all of those qualifications. So if you don't quite meet one of them, it's really about the picture and your professional experience, and really, why is this program a good fit for what you'd like to do with your career? The admissions process is relatively simple. It's an online application process. You basically complete a graduate school application at UW-Madison. You'll submit a statement of purpose, which no more than 2 pages, but it's really about a little bit about yourself and why this particular master's program is really the right fit for your career objectives. An updated resume, any college transcripts from colleges that you attended, and then 3 letters of recommendation. And those letters of recommendation can come from managers, supervisors, colleagues, previous college professors, anybody that can speak to your dedication to education and your commitment to wanting to further your career. And you can explain to them how this program really is a good fit for that. The deadline for applications is May 1st of 2026 for the next fall. So for the cohort that we're building of fall of 2026. However, we do have a rolling admission process. So as soon as we receive qualified applicants, usually in January, we'll start doing admission interviews, and then we will accept any qualified applicant that we, after we've had a chance to interview them. And so once the cohort is full, which is 24 to 30 students, then we would stop the application process. So I would say if you're interested, have any questions, go ahead and ask them and apply early versus later. For any international applicants that we might have interested, it's a very competitive process. We usually accept 2 to 4 international students. An average get 80 to more applications. We favor applicants that have done some kind of professional internship or done an internship in biotech in their undergraduate or have professional working experience as well. And we do require a strong English proficiency exam scores because the program does entail a lot of writing and it's presenting during the program. We do not have any funding available, so there's no fee waivers, no direct funding or scholarships or graduate assistantships. Because this is a professional program and all of our students are currently working, that's why it's set up this particular way. The tuition and fees for the program, for the total 2-year program, is $44,800, which basically equates to 4 payments, as you can see in the little diagram, of $11,200 per semester. One of the key things to notice about this schedule is that while it's 4 semesters, it does occur over 3 calendar years. And so I would definitely investigate whatever types of tuition reimbursement programs your employer has, because that's often based on a yearly basis. So you could be eligible for up to 3 years of reimbursement. But again, I would definitely check with your HR representative to discuss what kind of plans they have available. In addition to the MS in Biotechnology program, which is again a 4-semester master's degree, we have alternatives for those that might be not quite ready for a master's degree or who have a particular interest in quality assurance and regulatory affairs. So we very recently launched a certificate in quality assurance and regulatory affairs, and how those 2 areas in particular impact biotechnology product development. All the curriculum was developed and is taught by industry experts. It's a fully online 100% online program. So there's no particularly scheduled times when you have to be online, and there's no in-person meetings. There are some optional virtual meetings online with faculty and students, just to facilitate getting to know each other and rapport, asking questions. The certificate is 3 courses for a total of 9 credits. It's $1,000 per credit for a total of $9,000 for the entire certificate. And unlike the master's program where we only accept students in the fall because because the master's program is kind of a cohort-based method, we take applications for spring, summer, and fall for admissions to the certificate. And again, if you want more information about the certificate, there's a link there, but also you can contact anyone in the MS in Biotechnology program staff, and we'd be happy to help you with that. All right, I think that's all I have as far as explaining the program, some of the features, some of the advantages to the program and how it could impact your career, a little bit about the certificate option. I think I'd be happy to answer any questions if there are any.